Hey.
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Tuesday. Happy. Yes.
If you're happy about it. I'm feeling pretty good.
If you're happy and you know
No,
No?
I'm going to cut you off right there. None of that. None of that.
Okay.
Maybe if we get on Sesame Street.
Dear Sesame Street, do you need a mental health professional?
Or two.
I sing songs. For no
Count
reason.
me in there too. I'll do it if it's for Elmo. Just not here. It's not the vibe for this
maybe
show.
Maybe Oscar the
We're
Grouch.
both in black.
Maybe Oscar the
going
Grouch.
for a different type of vibe.
Maybe Oscar the Grouch could hang with Dr.
We're not
Lexus
doing
here.
Nursery Rhymes. You'll be with Cookie Monster.
Yes. But I also just want to hang out with the Muppets too, so
different.
They're different.
Different.
Same, but different. Love you guys.
So I'm really excited about our episode that we have today.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a lot of fun.
Yes.
And maybe some sass.
I hope so. You were like 70% sass in real life. I don't know if that conveys via format.
It's only if I have good content that I'm responding to. I need to move this thing, whatever this label is here.
Oh, you should do that.
We're not there yet. We're going to talk about this in a bit. I'm going to remove that lower third.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do little introductions. Our mic, make sure our mic is on.
It is.
Everything's working.
The only person who forgets that now is you.
I know. That's why I'm just going to be no longer in control of the controls.
I got the controls.
I know. I'm very proud of you.
I got to show up here and then just do this.
Yeah.
That's not bad gig.
I know. I do all the pre-production.
She does all the real work. I am lazy.
I wouldn't say you're lazy. Shut up.
Okay.
We don't use that word in this household.
I expend a lot of energy other places,
yes,
which yield me some rights here that I am enjoying thoroughly.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
That you're still enjoying it.
Thoroughly.
Well, I'm Dr. Alexis Moreno. I'm a doctor of clinical and community psychology.
And I'm Alex. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, a therapist.
AKA therapist.
Therapist, both individual and couple stuff. Do all sorts of therapy.
And group.
And
whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need.
And we're a married mental health and relationship duo. Experts. Pros, if you will.
Yeah.
And on today's episode, we're reacting to the internet's worst,
or possibly maybe some actually really good.
I think we're starting off pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're responding to what people are posting on social media.
Yes.
And we're going to be telling you, is it therapy?
Or is it trash?
And what we mean by therapy is it therapeutic? Because obviously nothing that you see online, even if it's one of our lessons or workshops, that is not therapy. Therapy is
educational.
Therapy's live.
Thoughtful,
it's
engaging.
It's interactive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's personal to you.
It also has lived experience. It's a very different thing. So all of y'all who are trying ChatGPT as therapy, it's not therapy.
I mean,
it's really cool because it can pull therapeutic things, but it's not therapy because
if my clients are using it in coaching, I want to know. And I'm curious. I'm like, oh, so what did it say?
Yeah.
And then we go from there.
Yeah.
And then we kind of finesse it.
And it's interesting because
it needs it.
I'm like, it will lie to you.
Yeah.
And that's okay and all, but it will lie to you. So let's do the work.
Yeah.
So that thing.
It will try to appease you.
Yes.
These robots.
It's a pleaser. These robots are pleasers.
So we're married mental health and relationship experts reacting to the internet's worst.
And possibly best.
And sometimes actually
amazing.
Really good advice.
Wonderful.
Or content or role modeling.
Yes.
If you will.
Love it.
And of course, we have to put out a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Again,
not therapy.
And it's shared under fair use for commentary and critique. So the videos that we're using, not ours. In fact, especially if they're the positive ones, we want to hype those up. Check out our show notes to learn about the original creators of the content that we're going to be
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Reviewing.
It reminds me of a show that you and I used to watch all of the time.
Which one? There's a lot.
Ridiculousness.
I think they're still going. I know they're on, but I don't know if it's like new.
I would love to be.
It's
in that
just
show.
endless brilliance.
Rob Dyrdek, you are awesome, and you make
endless
me laugh.
brilliance out there for us to play with.
It's way better than some of the other clip shows that are out there in the world.
I mean, I grew up on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yes,
I'm sure you did too. Yeah,
I did too. But and I love Bob
and
Saget.
ridiculousness just takes it to like a whole other level.
Yes.
So we may be viewing some of that stuff. I don't.
But make it therapy.
Some of it could be therapeutic because I mean, if you have a good sense of humor and can laugh about your mistakes.
Nothing like somebody falling down a flight of stairs that makes it. Wait, sorry.
Or the accidental loud fart. You know, like let's just turn it all into joy if we can.
Yes.
So
at someone else's expense.
As my controller.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind.
Controller. I'm the controller.
Computer controller, not personal husband weird controller.
Weird controller. All right, what are we starting with? Or you tell me where we're starting. Where are we starting?
Let me see. Okay, so we're only gonna do like
we're doing like 5. We're doing like 5 because this is awesome. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hype it up. Let's roll.
Okay, let's start with this one because I can relate. So there's where are you putting it? You gonna bring it up?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna bring it up.
All right, so let me set the stage for you. You're going to be able to watch this if you're joining us live streaming or watching us on demand on our YouTube channel, youtube.com @Wit and Reason. That's WITANDREASON. For those of you who are listening via DC radio or our archive shows via podcast, wherever you get your podcast, I'm going to go ahead and set the stage for you. There is this husband and wife, and you're getting the POV from the wife's perspective. And her husband's coming home with apparently yet another plant. This seems to be like a very common experience in relationships. There's always that one person.
Hey, save it. We'll talk about it in a second.
That wants to bring up more. And that other person who's like, nah. Let's see how this couple navigates it.
Yeah, nah.
Babe, what did I say about the plants?
You was like, okay, get it.
No, I didn't.
That's what I heard.
I'm not a liar.
That's
what did I say about the plants?
You was like,
what did I say?
You was like, you could get.
What did I say about the plants?
But look how beautiful it is. Look, the underside of the leaves are purple.
Justin.
It's called a calathea.
I don't give a fuck what it's called.
Where's it gonna go?
It's a floor plant. So
anywhere on the floor.
I'll find space for it.
Even right there looks really good. I'm on this bit.
Don't bring another fucking plant. Don't bring another.
So who's this from? Read the @1ash.
Babe, what did I say?
This
the
is
Shibo?
Yeah, this is why we always add it in post because
Yes.
it's hard to like read these.
Right.
But credit to them, and then you'll get the link to their TikTok in our show notes. So make sure to check that out. All right. So
that's so great.
Why is that a thing? Somehow there's always a person that wants more and the person that's like, no, and we find each other and we coexist.
Well, but
try
another thing
coexist.
that I hadn't, right, second time around when I was watching this, because first time I just laughed about how he got more plants and she didn't want more plants. The second thing,
he heard what he wanted to hear.
That's what I heard the second. Second time around, you heard what you wanted to hear. I thought you said to get a plant.
Yeah.
Like he totally thought it. He was, and then
remember
he
you
kind of
saying
went
something
back.
about plants?
Yep. He just heard what he wanted to hear, and I appreciate that entirely. That is a real thing.
I have one of my good friends. She's like all about dogs, and she's like, I want more dogs, and her husband's like, no.
No.
But she would open up her own like animal shelter just to have as many dogs as possible. So that's always the case. In our situation, we like flip flop.
No, we don't. You want all the stuff ever. You want all the animals ever.
Yes.
You want all the plants ever.
Okay, but games.
But I want. Well, sometimes I want gear, but
games, art stuff,
but
nerdy things.
Look,
where are all these little like toys that you have? Like, there's some up there. We had to add shelving in our in our studio.
No, look how many things are mine versus yours on that shelf.
Well, that's family photos.
No,
and...
well, my stuff has been reduced.
But you got stuff. You got your stuff too.
I
have have your collectibles that you like.
As
we look at the other walls
of
artwork,
all the art and like ukulele up there, and yeah, all right, fine.
So I think we're in the rare circumstance maybe where it's like both of us need to
I like the toys and arts and
Managed together.
activities, and you like the home goods.
So
and
tell
and
us
seasonal supplies. Oh my goodness, people.
if you're following us live. Tell us in the chat. Which person are you,
Mhm.
or are you both flip floppers with your different things that you just want to consume and like fill your home with and figure out ways to just make it fit and work?
Well, to be fair,
I
do not think that either of us says you can't do this thing or what in the same way.
Yeah.
That we support each other a lot of the time. We do try and like weigh in on like, hey, like there's no room for this thing. Particularly
because we're RV living a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And that really
you gotta streamline.
That's really where it's like, no, seriously, this is functional impairment. I have no space to walk.
Yeah.
I'm banging into things.
I need to live. Yeah, fair.
So that part I get.
Okay.
So what do you think about, okay, so this interaction,
mm-hmm.
and we're as nicely as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy or trash?
I think it's an accurate reflection of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I heard healthy boundaries there.
That's really what it is. It's like, no, and I already said, and this person's technically violating those boundaries.
But also,
I'm wondering why. I'm hoping like negotiation worked up to this boundary where it's like absolutely no more plans.
I feel like it's a cliffhanger for possibly therapeutic.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
Okay.
Because I don't know how this resolved.
And we don't know what happened beforehand. How many conversations happened beforehand?
I also want to know how many plants he has. If he has like 50 plants, that's hilarious.
But depends on the size of their home.
What if they have like one bedroom apartment?
It's a floor plan. I'm sure they have plenty of floor space.
Possibly.
I
don't know. All right, so cliffhanger, but possibly therapeutic.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like trash.
It's not trash. They ain't trash.
Because they're
therapeutic.
Yeah,
it's therapy.
They're working through some
boundaries,
stuff.
Communication.
Yeah,
calling people out on boundaries, good stuff. Like it, okay.
And then someone also just trying to like engage in what brings them joy.
Exactly. Love that. Love that for him. All right. So next one up. Which one are we doing? Your choice. My choice. All right. Ready? I want to do this one.
Oh, this one's funny. Okay, so we have a person who appears to be some dude talking straight to the camera.
Mm-hmm. Giving a solid male advice. No, maleness type of. Some tough love. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe some tough love. You tell me what you'd call this, but I really love it. Ready?
Don't you ever take my kindness for weakness, because you know what I'll do? I'll see things from your perspective. Yeah, I'll put myself in your shoes. How would you like that? How would you like if I met you with compassion and understanding and empathy? Huh? Oh, yeah. What if I rationalized your behavior based off of your circumstances and your upbringing? Mm-hmm. And I acknowledge that the way that you're treating me has nothing to do with me and is just a reflection of your internal state. Yeah, how would you like that? Oh, who's the loser now? Who's the loser now? Oh, yeah. What if I acknowledge that if I was in your exact same circumstances that I probably wouldn't act the same way because we're different people, but I understand why you do. Boom, get understood. Get seen, get heard. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm the loser. Guess what? I didn't take it personally. Oh, man. Whoa, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, yeah. Watch me not take things personally. Yeah, how's that feel? Get empathized. Yeah. How's it feel to crumble underneath my empathy? Oh, yeah. Get seen, get heard, get understood. Who's the loser now? Who's the loser now? Yeah. Watch me put myself in your shoes. It's okay. Sorry.
To be validated in that way, I imagine the bully just like crumbling to tears.
This is brilliant.
This is stuff my parents never told me.
This is brilliant. So Spencer Hoogveld. All right. Yeah.
Check our show notes. You'll have links to this person.
Oh my God. Yeah. Thank you for this. I've never heard such aggressive empathy in my life. It creates a lot of cognitive dissonance. Creates the taunting, aggressive empathy.
And it will be sincere. It's not even sarcastic.
You will feel seen and heard. I love that. It was so good. Highly therapeutic. Also very confusing to be that aggressive about empathy. You will be understood is just like the best thing ever. It is so angry.
You seem to be intensifying this even more. I feel like you even want to turn up the aggression.
Yes. Yes, I want
from this creator's post.
WWE wrestling style empathy. You will feel each other's emotions.
I'm imagining Nacho Libre just
Yes.
coming up, standing on one of the posts and just like flying over to someone and knocking them down
and
with
giving
a
them
bear hug.
a gentle hug.
With consent, of course.
Consent. Oh God, I love that. That was hilarious. Highly
So
therapeutic.
I'm sensing more therapy than trash.
Yes,
From you,
but also it's very funny to do that in a way that is that aggressive.
right?
Your empathy should not necessarily sound that aggressive. You could give it a shot.
Unless you want to lecture people effectively.
I mean, it is really funny to taunt folks who are trying to like.
Oh, you're weak
insult
because you feel.
Yeah.
And because you empathize with people's
Like,
snowflake.
How much more energy and thought and engagement does it take to be empathetic than it is to be insulted?
I find being insulting very easy.
Insulting is super easy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, empathy is a lot harder of a skill.
It takes a lot more skill and ability to slow it down and empathize and rationalize and validate. That's a lot harder to do than just bullying people.
Yep. Don't take it personally. Oh, here's me not taking it
So
personally.
it is not weak. That is not. It is not for the weak.
Love it. Love it
That's
so
for
much.
sure.
Spencer, you're awesome. Highly therapeutic. 2 thumbs up.
4.
4 thumbs up. I feel like we should have something like therapy related, like.
I want like foam fingers.
Yeah, I was thinking like.
Let's get those made.
Cigars for Freud. But that's weird.
That's a whole different level.
I know, but
of psychology.
I was just thinking like, what? 2 couches up. Like
we're gonna get foam fingers made.
No,
and
I don't want a finger. I want like
brains.
What do you think? Yeah, 2 brains up. No, that doesn't make
I
sense.
guess the therapy couch is pretty.
All right,
4
you tell us what
up.
we could put up in the air to comment whether it's therapy or trash.
The therapy couch.
Therapeutic.
4 couches.
4 couches. That's 4 couches.
But I want like the pretty Victorian like fainting couch.
Okay, fine. 4 Victorian.
Even though it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, sure. All right, sounds good. I love it. I love it. You're up next, though. You get to choose our next clip.
Okay, let's see. What
All right, ready?
That one.
This one?
Yeah,
all right.
So decisive.
Okay.
But I don't remember what it's about.
On a hinge date, talking about what she's looking for in a man.
Okay, everyone, brace yourselves. Okay, so right now, when the video opens, we're looking at her, but
it quickly flips.
When the camera flips to see her hinge date,
yeah.
who is just chowing down on some chips and guac. You'll hear it.
You'll hear it.
You'll hear it in action.
Wait, what did you just ask me?
What are you looking for? What are you looking for on Hinge?
Yeah, just to meet my partner and like I'm looking for something serious. I'm not like I've done casual dating.
Yeah, I have too. It's not for me.
And
it's not for me.
Right.
Can't like.
No.
I don't just see the point. It's like I've had all the experiences. And I'm dating intentionally.
Yeah. I'm not doing that for fun anymore. Like I'm serious about it. I'm
pulling out of its mouth.
very serious about it now.
Did you not have dinner?
This is my
Oh
dinner.
my god.
Yeah. Dana Mooner, we hope that date was
what's
hilarious
it called
joke.
where
Farcical.
where you're acting?
Yes. Acting?
We're hoping it was a
sketch.
Sketch. Yes.
Hoping it's a sketch. Yeah. So we're hoping it's a sketch because
my body language at this point is like
so wait, number one.
position.
I want to say number one. Number one, what you are looking for, really wonderfully well said and well done.
Yes.
You were looking for the right things and all sorts of healthy boundaries set. That was highly therapeutic from her end. That was very lovely. Sir, with the eating.
So cringe.
You were doing all the things that were required of validation, except the most important part.
The basics of social etiquette.
No, I was just thinking attention. The attention was not on her. It was on shoveling guacamole and chips.
I mean,
into
that
her
must have been
face.
so. I mean, we've had some bomb guacamole before.
It didn't even look that good. Those chips were all over the place.
I know, and the crumbs. Like, dude, just wait to get like a new set of chips.
Yeah, don't lick the bowl.
Like the bowl.
Lick the bowl.
I hope it was just a skit.
Yeah.
of a
But-
hinge date, and then to throw that person on blast, like posting a video about them. They weren't like maliciously like terrible where I would excuse putting someone on blast, you know?
No, that was gross. They should be put on blast. You if that was real,
Who raised
you need some sort of mechanism to tell you
Or
that
didn't
there's something
raise you?
there that you should do differently, and maybe others can chime in on that, because as you watch yourself do it, you should realize that it was epically
Maybe
disgusting.
practice your dates in front
And
of
she
a mirror.
may not have one of her fingers because you may have eaten it because you were just shoveling into your face.
Oh boy, that's
Yeah.
an absolute. Okay, in that situation, what would you do if you're on a date and this person was just like,
so she started with the passive. Technically, it was a passive aggressive comment. Oh, is that your dinner? Type of thing where it was like, are you hungry?
yeah.
Slightly passive aggressive, which I understand. No dig on her for that.
Yeah, it's hard to be
But-
assertive on that first date where it's like
But what I'd probably say
even say
is, excuse me, I'm very worried and concerned and kind of very disgusted by the way in which you're shoveling things into your face.
Yeah.
If you're really this hungry and you're not able to be attentive to a date, I'd appreciate you just bowing out now and being able to go feed yourself and take care of yourself for the moment.
right?
I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So that's probably the healthiest way to say that.
Or what if it's like a nervous tick?
If it's a nervous tick, well, because then you're opening the door for like other things. So if it's a nervous tick, then you're like at least opening the door for like, hey, explain to me what's happening here.
Yeah.
So I would say
Seems
addressing
like
it
you're
directly.
really hungry.
Yeah, see, but that's still too passive aggressive. You're not being any assertive there. So assertive would say, this is not okay for me to bear witness
I
to.
can't.
I need to move on. You do you and take care of you. I hope you're okay.
That's nice.
Yes,
That's
I
very
think
nice.
so. That's pretty good on the fly, right? That's what.
And the thing is, talking
Assertive?
about like, what's the harder thing to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to like think in those terms, and just even to make sense what's going on in front of you at a date when dates go bad.
Yeah.
And people are behaving poorly. It's hard to there's like the shock there, and then it's like
Have
your
you been on
brain's
a-
trying to make sense of it.
Just have you ever been on a date that bad?
Not that bad, no. I've had people like weird mannerisms and stuff that like kind of weirded me out, but like guys that would like, I don't know, do a lot of like things with their hands.
Oh, interesting. Were they trying to be magicians?
It looked like it. I was like, what is happening here with your
There's
hands?
It's an episode.
Very much, and then
There's an episode of a British show that makes me laugh so hard
Really?
about like, yeah, it's IT crowd, and she goes on a date with that guy who looks like he should be a magician, and she's like, "Could you do magic? Because
then it could work.
are you
maybe.
not a magician?
Right?
Because you should be a magician."
And then in our I bring it up with you
Mhm.
as assertive aggressively when you're very hungry, and then you have your arm in front of your food.
Yes.
And they're kind of like leaning over and like shoveling it into your face. This is like 7 years of marriage. That's not a first
Yeah.
date kind of
No.
activity. But even then, I'm like, no, you need to slow down
Yeah.
and like sit up and don't like hunch over your food. Your food is safe. That I've seen a lot of in dating guys. So you're not the only one. Lots of guys do that. We just kind of.
Hey, I ate school lunches. Sometimes you get bullied.
That's
Gotta
what I
protect your
hear. I
food.
hear it's like you're actually guys are actually like trying to protect their food from their brothers or something.
I mean, I had a younger brother, so, and I didn't steal his food. Colin, you could tell me. Did I steal your food? I don't know. I don't think I did. He's
Repressed memories.
yeah. No, I mean, I remember being asked, but
Yeah.
like,
So, I mean, either way, regardless of what the why is, like why this person, if this is like a legit thing that happened, why this person is behaving that way, for first date stuff, it's like the is all that really matters.
yeah,
This early on, it's like, regardless of why, the fact that this is happening, is that cool with you or not? Because you don't want to have to be putting in fucking parenting someone ever, let
Mhm.
alone on the first date.
and I mean, there's preferences, but then there's like something else, and that's the something else. So,
Yeah.
all right.
So that was
cool.
a cringe but therapeutic to watch, and probably very validating for a lot of people
Yeah,
who
yeah.
experienced something similar on a date.
And he did a really good job, but being validating if he actually paid attention and didn't.
Are we just going to do one more? For time, or you wanna go
I want to go through all of them.
Okay.
Everyone, you're going to deal with all of them because guess what?
If you joined us late, we're reviewing different content and identifying it as
therapy
or trash.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
All right, ready? I want to try this one out. Right? All right, so we're going to do this one.
I went to the gym. I do cardio on the treadmill. Right? I went to the gym. I do
Grab me.
cardio on the treadmill. Right?
All right.
Watch my role modeling. Do it.
I went to the gym.
Wait. Okay.
So,
what do we see here?
A woman is talking from behind the camera, filming her seemingly boyfriend, husband, whoever else this is. Oh, it says my boyfriend.
Yeah.
A story and mentioning a random guy's name. Now she's doing this to be comedic. She's mentioning a random guy's name. Now this is what I call a testing measure. This is a testing measure. Why are we testing people? Why do we do this? We think this is funny. It isn't funny. It's rude. But
unless that's their brand of like pranking each other and posting it for everyone to
pranking,
see.
Sure, but people take this crap seriously. Bothers me, and we'll get into why. But first, let's watch this piece. Ready?
I went to the gym. I did cardio on the treadmill, right?
Yeah.
And then I met up with Brandon afterwards to get smoothies. And then we're waiting online to get smoothies, and someone cuts me off. And then Brandon looks at him, and he's like, "Yo, dude, what do you?"
What did you just say?
Someone cut me off.
No. Before that, who were you with?
Brandon?
Brandon, hello.
You're saying that like I know who that is. Brandon.
Yeah, he's my friend.
Oh, just your friend. Oh, just Brandon. Brandon's your friend. Who's Brandon? I don't know Brandon.
Yeah, you don't know Brandon.
Okay, well that's the problem. Who's Brandon? Why are you laughing? Oh my gosh, Anne, come on.
Yeah.
So we eventually got there where he's realizing that this is a joke.
Yeah.
We're able to see the creators. We'll have links to all of the creators in our show notes.
Yeah. Angela C0123.
Good job.
There you go. All right, I can see things.
Yeah, you have context on it.
I can read.
All right, so it seems like you have some thoughts.
This is not useful. Don't do this to each other, and then don't think it means something if they picked up on it or didn't pick up on it.
Oh, like don't use it as like a legit
evidence
thing.
Yeah, it's not evidence of anything. On top of that, if you noticed it, okay, fine. But also, what you're actually toying with, even if you're not meaning to do so, is trust. And so, as you're screwing with their ability to trust you, even if you're playing around.
Which one are you referring to?
Her testing him.
Okay.
She's testing him.
It seems like she's joking around.
Yes.
But let's say she is actually testing.
But people do this.
Yeah.
And this is very like people do this all the time and then get like upset like, oh, well, if your person doesn't do this or respond to this, then obviously they don't care.
We did a stitch about someone saying like we should have done that one. We did a stitch about someone saying like, oh, here's how I've been divorced a billion times. Here's how you could tell if your husband, doesn't care about you. And then they make this blanket statement like he's always walking ahead of you. There's so many, and that's not a thing.
There's reasons why I walk ahead of you.
Yes.
Some of them are because safety, but other things are.
And then
because
you're anyways, you'll watch the video.
Yeah.
we give the reasons. But in this case, she's not trying to make a blanket statement of like, oh, if he questions the guys you're hanging out with, he loves you more, or he, is a terrible person. Mm-hmm. So at least here, she's not trying to make that.
I did like his
advice statement.
I did like how he called her out on being like, "How are you saying this person? Like, I know who this person is, and why don't I know this person?" And I was like, "Oh, that's
the mocking was much.
It was a little much, but yeah. But I think she was trying to be playful, so he matched the playful energy.
Yeah.
So I think it was fine. But it was a little mocking, but I do think he was fairly assertive pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
the concern is a level of aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just talked about this earlier today.
Okay.
That fine line between people's boundaries clashing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if one person's boundary is like, I am not comfortable with you hanging out with people that you're attracted to and telling them like all the complaints you have about me to them and confiding in them instead of me. That's like a whole other thing versus someone who's like, I don't want you hanging out with other guys ever.
Yeah.
Even at work. Like if you see someone coming down the same street, you better cross the street.
Well,
then you get into controlling, abusive, like claiming like, oh, you're cheating on me, like making.
And he made a particular statement, which was, I don't know him. Why don't I know him? That's the problem.
Yeah.
And so that I also liked, because like, you should know the people that I'm spending time with or talking about.
Yeah.
In some capacity, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And I tell you who those people are and who's introduced into my life and who has been in my life before or whatever else. And we're very open about those things. But typically, if I'm spending time with somebody, you're going to know them.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to know who they are or whatever else. You're going to have met them, because I feel like that's a standard.
Yeah.
And I think that's the standard we talked about.
Yeah. We actually like worked through this stuff while we were dating in advance, and not in a prank kind of way.
No, not prank.
Like in a legit, like, how do we feel about this? I'm comfortable with this. I'm uncomfortable with that.
Because I have some friends that you've met that you love.
Yeah.
That I've been friends with for
decades. And then this, in heterosexual relationships, it's like, like having platonic friends of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
In same-sex relationships, it's like even just engaging with someone maybe who you used to date, or some that goes for heterosexuals too, or people that you're attracted to, and figuring out what's okay and what's not okay can be very custom.
Yeah.
For each relationship.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And so it seems like in this one that we were watching, long story long, I don't know if they straight up have that conversation. I hope this isn't the first time they're playing around with it, because it is an important one.
It's a good one to have. So have that conversation.
We don't recommend you having it via prank.
Yeah. So that part, trash.
Trash.
Actual thing, can be therapeutic. To have an actual conversation about what your boundaries are could be the only way to make it therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do it up front.
Yes.
So that way it's preventative instead of like a reaction thing. Like, I have a lot of guy friends. You have a lot of female friends.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to navigate this so everyone feels comfortable?
All right. We got this one. And then we got this one.
Okay, cool.
Short one.
You have to introduce.
Short one or long one?
Give us a short one.
All right. Ready? All right. So, woman talking to the camera about relationships, and she looks very like she's cozy. Like
it's kind of dark. It's like
nighttime. She got done with her nighttime routine. She looks very prepped for bed.
Skin is glossy.
She's glossy.
The world will also be a better place when women realize that men 9 times out of 10 are using you for an ego boost. Their proximity to you defines them. The ability to be within proximity of a woman and be chosen by a woman is the only way for them to feel valuable. However, they also resent that. They resent that they have to elicit desire from women to be seen and feel valuable. So whilst trying to seek your attention and your desirability, they have to also degrade you so that you don't recognize how much of a power dynamic imbalance is happening here. And a lot of you bitches fall for it, and that's unfortunate to me. I want better for men. I want them to develop senses of self that are not rooted in and reliant upon attention from women. And I want women to recognize that it's really not that validating to get attention from men, because they're really doing it for themselves 9 times out of 10. But hey, I mean, this works for people, I guess. So,
So here's where we have one of those videos that we warned you all about.
All right. So Jada a million, appreciate you. I actually really like this conversation.
It was. It's just the numbers. I get caught up in the numbers that are probably opinion based and not scientific or data based at all.
Yes.
There is no stat that says 9 times out of 10.
I would say
guys generally do this.
So, and I would say that it does remarkably well at addressing some damage within men's psyche in the world and the world at large, but also mostly American men.
Then you have to think culturally as well.
So culturally this can be different too. So if you're addressing, say, American men and that plight of American men, I think that's something.
I think you might even see that in like Latin cultures as well.
You could. I would say it also looks a little different too. But I think that there's a lot that's to be said there, and that there's so much hinged upon people having a relationship, having something else. And I think that if you added another layer to it, I think it would be even more deeply therapeutic, which would be that there's always rubrics of success, and you have success in various realms and areas. And so you have to have monetary success, you have to have family. And so that means you have a for sake of this discussion, a wife who is this, you know, attractive person who has this level of whatever.
I mean, you might even see that in homosexual relationships.
Yes,
too.
but yes, but
and then level of attractiveness.
Yeah, and then
fitness and.
But then, like, you know, you kind of like, and then how much that then reflects on you that you succeeded because you have these things, which also comes back to, like, say, Protestant work ethic and all these other things.
Say that louder so the mic can pick it up.
Oh, so it relates back to, like, say, like the Protestant work ethic, where it's like bootstraps, and the more you accumulate, the better person you are, and the greater you are in heaven. That's the Protestant.
Oh, then we bring
ethic.
in like religious stuff.
Well, because it's still steeped in that culture, because that's what we're steeped in. We're steeped in we are one of the most religious countries in the world, even if you don't think so. A lot of the stuff is rooted in conceptions of religion, because it was a religious freedom, but then that was then put into the ethos. And so I wanted,
it gets deep, my friends.
Yeah.
So numbers aside, BS numbers aside. The BS numbers I call trash, because then that sticks to people's minds, and then they carry it on, and then they have this warped, generalized view of men, and that fucks them up while they're dating, because they have this general assumption from media that they're consuming, or from, you know, anecdotal experiences that they've had, or things that they've observed in their own families or communities, and that's not necessarily an accurate reflection of the lived experience. And then people just either keep on dating the same type of person or keep on reliving this fallacy, and it really messes them up. So don't.
So the numbers are trash, but the heart is gold.
Are trash.
But the heart is gold.
But what you're saying, I appreciate. And I also, like, I was going to catch them. I was like, because they're talking all this crap about, like, oh, men think this way, and so women, you're bitches because you fall for it. And you're like, hey. How can you be talking so much crap about how warped and unhealthy the men's psyche is, but then blame the women for falling for it? Let's not, in this case, victim blame or target blame. Let's also focus on, like, but it's the men who are doing it, and women are just seeking love and companionship under these circumstances of what you're speaking to. But then that's why I'm glad I wanted you to keep up playing it, because then they eventually got to, like, here's what I want from men, here's what I want from women.
And I think twofold here is really important. It is actually really good to look at these things, and when you are dating somebody, and a male presenting person, do they understand the dynamics and which pressures of which they undergo, and do they see these things, and do they play out these things? So if you look at these things and go, ooh, do they have a developed sense of self that addresses these issues? If so, if they've built that insight, you have a big green flag.
Yay.
And it's really wonderful. But if they're kind of falling to the same point, that's your red flag.
That lack of awareness. So do they have intro and intra section?
Yes.
And awareness and motivation to make changes.
Deep. So deep.
So layered. That's why we're here, y'all.
Titanic.
Dating coaching. We'll get straight to the point. And processing therapy while you get through all of it. Awesome. We have one more.
We do. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I don't care. We're going late. I don't mind.
I'm editing.
Whatever. Oh.
No, we're good. We're good.
This
is easy to cut out.
Okay.
We'll have extra bonus.
Ready? All right. So we got an Uber driver or some sort of shared ride driver who is talking to the camera about an experience they had picking up and dropping off a date. So they're not a couple; they're just a date. Yeah. So the female presenting person leaves, and the male is in the car.
Still chatting with this Uber driver, or this ride-share
driver, and
the ride-share driver has thoughts.
He's spilling tea, and I love it.
You know, I hope men never learn their lesson, and luckily for me, they won't. We gotta find this girl, y'all, so buckle up, strap in, and share this on all those little Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook pages. Tonight, I picked up Devin and his co-passenger. She was a beautiful little young lady, and while they're in the backseat, I let them have their privacy. I'm ignoring them. I'm focusing on other things, and we're driving. They seem to be having a good time. I seem to have picked him up from like a first, maybe a second date. He's a gentleman. He drops her off at her apartment, and then I'm about to take him home to his. And this is where it gets interesting for us. So if you went on a date tonight with Devin and I picked you guys up from Stubbs, Here's what he said about you after you got out of the car. As I'm driving him home, he strikes up a conversation with me about how the date went really well, but he just wished it would have gone further. Apparently, Devin and this girl had been talking on Tinder or something or Snapchat for a few days now, for a few weeks now. He reveals to me that tonight was their second date and that this was the night he was expecting to get some. He apparently thought tonight was the night you were going to get some because of what you were wearing, which I can't believe in 2025 is still something men think. But when he realized you weren't going to invite him up to your apartment when I was dropping you off, that's when he got annoyed with you, I guess. He then told me what you did for work and said that he couldn't respect it. And I did try to counter with all this. I did try to argue with all of this. I said, well, what she was wearing was a cute little outfit. He responded with something along the lines of, I don't care what the outfit looks like on her body. I'm more interested in what it's going to look like on the floor. In reference to what you do for work, girl, I said, hey, I think what she does is great. I think it's really important. In fact, we need more people to go into that field. To which he responds to, it's too time consuming. She won't be able to stay home with me. And I understand, like, wanting to be able to spend time with your partner. The way he said it was the red flag. It wasn't that he said it, it was the way he said it. Girl, he also said that you had a shitty apartment. He said that he thinks that you have a shitty apartment. He said he could tell from the outside of the building that you have a shitty apartment. So, girl, if you went on a date with Devin tonight to Stubbs and I picked you guys up around, I think it was 8:30, you can do better, girl. I believe you can do better. I think you deserve better than him. And before anybody gets mad at me for breaking bro code, I don't give a fuck.
What? That's bullshit.
I don't give two fucks. Not one fuck, two fuck, three fuck, four. I don't care. This is how much I care about bro code. I thought that was gonna be a louder fart.
You're like Winston.
All right, Sean TV 96. Sean TV, you are doing a public service. I applaud you.
I'm slow clapping.
You are therapeutic. You are highly therapeutic. Devin,
let's go.
Devin needs to seek therapy.
Yes, Sean, tell him. Tell him, Sean. Doing the therapist work out here on these streets.
On the streets.
I want that to be some kind of service. Because you talked about, what was the phrase you used earlier? Some kind of like test measure?
Testing measure?
Yeah. Because there's only so much you could gain, obviously, like face to face with someone when they have their like best face and presentation, masking and acting on just to try to get some.
Yeah.
And then if there's some kind of service where it's like you and your rideshare driver can communicate after the fact for this test measure of like, okay, no, but seriously, once I'm gone, how is this bro?
Having bartended through grad school, I would say there's a lot of people who say a lot of things to you
as a cocktail
in
server
the service industry, and they shouldn't. And I have no problem calling people out on terrible, terrible, terrible behavior.
Yes.
Because people are not objects. Women are not objects. The clothes are better on the floor. I hope you get something that makes other things fall off.
That's the therapeutic side.
Sorry, that's my therapeutic side.
Like, again, this is not therapy.
May you have.
This is education and entertainment.
May you have a growth. I'm sorry. Wait,
May something sting can be painful, but just for you.
Oh.
May your pillow never be cold and cool to the touch. May your sheets always be hot and moist.
These are like really weird hellscape.
May you always get a flat tire. May your gas tank always be on empty.
I like these. Where do you get? Are you just coming up with them?
There's just all of these things that piss me off. All of the things that piss me off, and there's a lot.
May you only
be
have
your full-time experience. May your ankle socks, if you wear them, always fall to the arch of your foot.
These are great. I want to.
May there always be a pebble in your shoe, my friend. Not my friend. Dude. All right. So the interaction, that guy is trash, clearly.
Trash. Devin,
this
trash.
Video and Sean's public service.
Highly therapeutic.
Highly therapeutic. And more is needed. There has to be some kind of like app service that
I'm sorry, there's no such thing as bro code. I have one brother. He's wonderful. I don't have to do that for him because he's not a disgusting piece of crap.
Right?
Because we learned and we talked about these things growing up, and we didn't become terrible pieces of crap.
Good for you.
And we dated brilliant, amazing women who then we married. So cool.
You married all of them?
Well, I married you, and he married his wife.
Yes, another brilliant woman.
Another brilliant, talented woman.
That guy is such trash. And here's the thing.
Not my brother.
No,
Devin,
yeah.
Devin,
Going back to the video, it's like even if he was to see it, there's gonna be all these like defenses up, and then all of these excuses, and
who says on a second date you're gonna get laid?
Right? It doesn't matter what date you're on.
Yeah.
It's how you're feeling about it, both.
Yeah.
Consensually, and then even just basing it off of like what she's wearing. What the fuck? Yeah, just trash. And the problem is that like there's like very very small likelihood that this person's ever going to change.
No, it's pretty.
If
minimal.
this person gets into therapy, it's likely going to be externally motivated.
Yeah, somebody's going to tell him he needs therapy.
Kind of forced.
Yeah, he's going to cheat on somebody.
Maybe an ultimatum of some sort. It's going to be like kind of like just like an act for this guy.
That's fun.
And they didn't say ages. I envisioned like early 20-somethings.
Yeah.
And that's the crappy part about it is that, and there's like memes about it where it's like most people are in therapy to deal with the people who refuse to go to therapy.
Mm-hmm. And if you're being honest with yourself and that's your honest answer to all of the things in which you're thinking and saying and feeling there,
which part?
Then about what he was telling us, the driver,
confessional, the
confessional,
the rideshare confessional.
Then don't date people till you're not that. If you're looking to just get laid, then don't.
And
date.
there's other people who are looking just to get laid, so just go with those people.
Go with those people.
Why you gotta fuck around with people who are, looking for something serious?
Yeah. Don't waste anyone's time.
Yeah, and don't dehumanize people
honest.
And objectify people.
Be honest.
Humans, certain humans of a certain sex and age. Well, I'm glad we left on this high note.
I think it's hilarious.
Yes, but let's focus on the video
and
the service that Sean is doing.
So Sean, we salute you. You are wonderful. Thank you. All of you rideshare folks, all the people service industry looking out for other people. Mm-hmm. We love you. Mm-hmm. Keep doing the good work.
Because really, you're like the first responders. Like you are likely a bystander and with an opportunity to upstand.
Because I'm gonna see Devin 5 years from now when he's like married to somebody who thinks he's trash, and I have to make him not trash. Do you know how hard that is to make people not trash?
It's
really hard therapeutically, people. It's hard. Yeah. It's very difficult because you have to convince them to not be trash without telling them that they're trash. It takes a lot of energy.
It's exhausting. Yeah. But I guess, otherwise we see them in a court-ordered therapy because they've committed some kind of crime and they need rehabilitation. Those are the two likely outcomes for us to see people like that. Mm-hmm. And we could still make it work.
Yep.
There's evidence-based therapy to make that work, but
there's tons of treatment plans.
But there's prevention.
But there's
What was the guy's name? Devin.
Read a book.
No, he's gonna pick up the wrong book.
Read Alexis.
Go to therapy, okay?
Read Alexis' book.
It's not out yet.
Oh yeah, read that book when it comes out.
All right. So, any final thoughts on? We've identified a couple of trashy things. Quick challenge: how would you adjust it to make it therapeutic?
For what?
In the videos.
Which one?
Let's do the prank couple one.
Prank couple one. Have conversations in around what is the role of friendships, especially of the opposite sex. Should you be in a heterosexual relationship?
Or people that you might be attracted to.
Or
people that maybe you dated in the past.
Yeah, that. You have what is relational okay, what is not okay, what does that look like? And that becomes a highly therapeutic, highly bonding, really wonderful moment in which you then have solidified value sets with your partner, and you could figure out those things from there on out.
But for the video creators, what's our tweak? Maybe a disclaimer like, oh, he's in on this joke. Or show the aftermath of...
Or have the constructive conversation afterwards and film that too and be like, hey, this is us.
Yeah.
People aren't going to find that funny. I'm sorry, but really, your prank is just making people neurotic, so don't do it.
Yeah, because then it's like emotional, psychological manipulation,
Yep.
bullying.
Over and over again.
Hopefully not over and over again, but
yep.
All,
emotional damage.
All for the likes. Don't just do it all for the likes.
Emotional damage.
Okay. Until next time, every Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific.
I want to do this again. Can we just do therapy or trash?
Yes, let's.
All right. Therapy
I want foam
or
fingers.
Trash.
Ooh, send us
clips.
Yes. Okay. Send us like the weirdest stuff you see while scrolling.
Yeah. If you find something
to be featured and to get a response from us.
I want to see what you people think out in the world. What is therapeutic? What is interesting? Send us stuff. It is going to be great.
Ooh, even if you're like, this seems legit wellness.
Is this legit?
But is it?
Yeah. Great.
Therapy?
Send us everything.
Is it trash?
I will laugh so hard watching all these. It's going to be great.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Until next time.